Hello, it's James from Write Your Own Story. I hope you're keeping well. The other day, a friend messaged me out the blue and said, "Is everything all right? I just had this bit of a feeling. Wanted to make sure you were okay." And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. Living the dream," which is a quote I often say. And on the messages back and forth, they said to me, "Do you ever get wound up or anything get under your skin?" And I said, "Well, no, I'm pretty happy-go-lucky, really, and I am generally happy-go-lucky." And we had a conversation about something else. Now, after we had that text conversation, it got me thinking, why am I the way I am? And I do like to go down the rabbit hole with myself on these things. And I don't think it's by accident. I think it's because of a certain thing that I decided to do, that I learned about and then implemented. And I thought it'd be a good idea to share it with yourselves, and maybe you can implement it and be more upbeat and more happy-go-lucky. Now, the thing I'm talking about is gratitude. Now, you might wonder, okay, what's the big deal about gratitude? It's huge. It's truly huge. And I want to tell you why it's so important. We are a receiving station. You're receiving information from me right now. We watch the television, we receive information from that. Someone tells us something, we receive information. We are a receiving station. Now, sadly for some people, they receive everything and soak it all in and keep it inside. Well, that can be the good, the bad and the ugly. So I'd suggest it's a good idea to learn how to filter what comes in to your receiving station. And you can control some of it, and some of it you can't. So let's look at the news, for example. The next time you watch the news, and I don't really pay much attention to the news for a particular reason, it's predominantly bad news. And I'm very aware that I'm a receiving station, and I'm very aware of what I want to allow myself to receive or not receive. I'm really particular over this. Now, with the news, the majority of it is bad news. And it's so unusual that if there's a good news event, they make a big deal about it. And a good news story to finish with, because it's such an unusual event. Honestly, when you pay attention to this stuff, you can really decide, I'm going to tune into this or I'm going to tune out of it. Now, when it comes to gratitude is truly huge. And it's about what you're grateful for. What are you truly grateful for? And can you give yourself gratitude for it? I'm going to give you a few examples. Feel free to steal them, use them, borrow them, discard them. But if you do decide to keep some of them, tweak them and personalize them and make them very bespoke for yourself. Make it exactly and specifically for you. So here's a few things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful that I can breathe nice and easy. I went to the gym this morning. It was pouring down. I went there on my bike. I had this crazy workout. When I left, it was pouring down with rain. I got absolutely soaked cycling home. I loved it. I was grateful for it. I was grateful that I could experience the rain. I was grateful that I was alive. I was grateful that I could feel my heartbeat. And I was soaked to the skin. It was through my trainees and everything. But I was grateful. I was grateful for that. I'm grateful for my business. I'm grateful that I put myself through certain steps to learn certain things to do what I do now. I'm grateful that I learned that stuff so I can help other people. I'm grateful to you for watching this. I'm grateful for the listeners on my podcast channel. Now, this isn't big-headed brag, boast, anything like that. These are genuinely things that I'm grateful for. Because if I can give a message to someone and it makes their day a bit brighter, maybe a little bit easier, maybe a bit nicer, something that they can take forward and apply to their life that might make a difference, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I've got children, although 2 of them are adults now and 1's almost there. I'm grateful that I've got my kids. I love them dearly. I'm grateful that It's pouring down outside still now, and I'm grateful that now I'm indoors. I'm grateful that I can record this video for yourself to watch. Do you know what I mean? Now, when you really tune in to gratitude and what you're grateful for, it's quite difficult to feel miserable because you tune in to something that you're really happy about, and you tune out of something that's maybe negative and detrimental to your mental health. And this can be detrimental to your mental health. If you bump into somebody, maybe it's a friend, maybe you're on the phone to a family member, and they start telling you some bad news or something about the news or something that's specific to them, potentially you can get embroiled in there. Now, they may be telling you something that has either happened right now or maybe something that happened years ago. But listen out for this. Notice how their tone changes when they talk about the thing that happened. It's almost like they're reliving it. It's almost like that pain from back then, whenever back then was, is right there now in the conversation with you. And you can get involved in it. So I've got a challenge for you if you'd like to accept it. What I'd like you to do, if you're okay with it, is do a bit of a scan right after this video. Do a scan internally of how you feel and give yourself a score of 1 to 10. 1 could be very poor and 10 could be fantastic. Give yourself a score. And then let yourself go quiet and start thinking about the things that you're grateful for. Things that you can give gratitude to. And I want you to come up with 10. I also, for those who decide to do this, I want you to say it out loud. Now, there's a reason for this. When you say something out loud, you also hear it, because words have power. So the first part of the exercise, do the scan, give yourself a score of 1 to 10. The second part of the exercise is to verbally come out with 10 things that you're grateful for. Now, a few ideas could be, I've got food in the cupboard. I've got the heating on. I've got petrol in the car. I've got children. I've got a partner who cares for me. I'm sitting on a chair and it's comfortable. I've just had a cup of tea and it's nice. Maybe some of you have got an animal at home, a pet. Maybe it's a dog. And every time you walk through the front door, that dog greets you like you're its long lost friend and the best human it's ever seen in its life. These kind of things. So I want you to come up with 10 things that you're grateful for and say them out loud so you hear yourself verbalize them. When you've done that, do another scan on your body and see if that first number has improved. I think you'll find it probably has. So gratitude is huge. It's not about being egotistical. It's not about being big-headed or the big I am. It's none of that stuff. It's just something that you can do at any given moment, and it feels great. So that's this week's little top tip, if you like, on how to feel better. Honestly, this stuff works, and when you tune into this, you'll get better and better at it. And you get into the dark by turning on the light. You get rid of the cold by turning on the heating. You get rid of negativity by turning on the positivity. And you get positivity by focusing on gratitude. And it's all internal. Give this one a whirl. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. If this worked for you. You can even, if you want to, you can even put down some of the things that you're grateful for. You can be very vague or very detailed. Let me know. I'll be interested to know what you're grateful for. Let's share the love a little bit. As an aside, I've also got a podcast channel. It's also called Write Your Own Story, the same name as this YouTube channel, and it's on all the major players. So they're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Music, Podbean, it's all different places. So go to your local podcast of choice and it'll be on there. Search for Write Your Own Story. But I'm grateful that you've stuck around to the end. Thank you. And I wish you the very, very best. This is James from Write Your Own Story. Bye-bye. you.